Sean Combs, once a titan of music and power, just got slapped with a sentence of 4 years and 2 months behind bars, plus a massive $500,000 fine and 5 years of tight supervision afterward. But two brave souls who've seen his dark side up close are stepping forward, calling out the lies and the leniency. They say this man is a predator with no real regret, and they're done holding back. No pity for someone who's caused so much pain. They wouldn't lose sleep if he faced the consequences he truly deserves. Can you believe the courtroom turned into a spectacle? It dragged on, but not as long as some expected. The whole thing felt staged, like a scripted drama for the cameras. They rolled out videos and tributes that made it seem like he was getting honored for decades of greatness, not facing judgment for his wrongs. Lawyers choked up, painting him as some kind of hero. It was surreal, watching them hype up a guy accused of such twisted acts. All the heavy charges vanished, and he walked away with the lightest possible time. Guidelines suggested 9 years, but the judge who'd blocked his release half a dozen times handed down just over 4. Now he's urging this guy to turn over a new leaf. But change, that's impossible for someone wired like him. His own family stood up for him, but think about it, they're tied to his empire. How else do they survive? I'm not judging their loyalty, family's complicated, but without his money and name, what options do they have? Take his sons, for instance. What paths have they carved outside his shadow? Posting online, dropping tracks that fade into the noise, it's all linked back to him. They're under his thumb, pushed to defend him publicly. If he crumbles, who picks up their legal bills? Some are tangled in their own messes. This isn't just love, it's survival mode. Raised in that controlling grip, financial chains bind them tightest. No escape without him funding the way. They're not battling for a dad, they're fighting to keep their world from collapsing. What happens next? Flip burgers at a fast food joint. Hardly fits the lifestyle they've known. And, get this, even locked up, he was dialing out over 200 times a week. Authorities caught on heat loop and family to connect with potential witnesses, dodging the logs, sneaky three-way calls to keep conversations hidden. One person blew the whistle on the pressure. With millions at his fingertips, who knows what he could orchestrate? Vanish problems, silence voices. He's already greased palms, as the charges show dozens of calls to some folks. It's like running a pressure campaign from a cell. Why risk more heat now? He's probably exhausted every buy-off already, but the pattern screams no boundaries. And it's not just family he's pulling strings with. Insiders are naming names, accomplices who enabled the chaos. Why is he the only one facing bars? This web spreads wide, creating echoes of his darkness. Time for the hidden truths to flood out. For those who've denied it all along, let's be real. Figures in the spotlight, producers, singers, stars, they should face scrutiny too. From hitmakers to moguls, the list grows. One young talent's story alone demands answers. Recently, 2 of his associates linked up in an interview, ironic given the ties. But on one thing, these witnesses align. Zero remorse from him. He wept in court, penned a plea about transformation, teaching business tips to cellmates, claiming sobriety after decades, begging mercy for his kid's sake. The old self gone, a new one risen. But accountability, it's surface level, timed perfectly after getting exposed. Remember, the denials, calling victims liars until footage surfaced. Same scripted sorrow. Does regret hit only when cornered? He stewed in custody for months. Would a changed man let his team shred accusers on the stand? No protection for them, just attacks. He's skated on so much, and it's baffling. Echoes from others. He regrets nothing, just the catch. Credit for time served means he's out sooner, maybe a year or 2. Pushing for pardons, programs to shave more off. The judge highlighted coercion, beatings, drugs, weapons, all uncharged but factored in, hiding evidence, payoffs for tapes. That's the real conduct. Lives have been at risk for speaking truth. Threats came, even admissions from his circle about orders to silence critics. Why feel sorry for someone who'd erase you? Sure, no one wants to see injustice in the system. People get railroaded without resources. But for him, no sympathy. He's made enemies through his own actions. If this story touches your heart, please share it. His team vows appeals, shocked at any time served. They expected probation, freedom, decades of alleged harm, but even for years feels like eternity to him. Lawyers argue the judge overrode the jury on key points. Coercion, dismissed by them, yet cited in sentencing. Unconstitutional, they claim, but the verdict cleared heavier counts, focusing on lesser ones. Everything consensual, adults only, or so they spin it. The judge played extra juror, second-guessing what kind of network operates solo. Who were the recipients in this alleged scheme? Parallels to past cases scream collaboration. If dug deeper back then, this unravels earlier. Connections span cities, Florida, LA, Detroit, infesting high places. Judges, officials, coincidence, dozens from his orbit now locked up. This reaches peaks of power. Victims' voices rising, ex-partners, artists, survivors. Mixed feelings, but when prayers for justice echo back, gratitude follows. One commenter nailed it, begging mercy after showing none to others. light sentence, and fame might swell post-release. Halfway house, likely, easy ride. For his stature, it's a blip connections and sure soft landing. Camps over harsh blocks. 2 years max, then streets again. To a globetrotter, mansion Weller, it's a shift. But plenty adapt from execs to politicians. Still a fortune intact, barely dented, even picked his spot a low security site with programs for early out. Substance treatment, 9 months, 500 hours, shave a year. Pockets unaffected long-term, that place lacks enough for escapes, extractions, not fooled, people crave illusions, happy endings with apologies and treats. But reality bites. Post-release rules dropped, 5 years watched close. Meetings, no drugs, tests, starting quick. DNA collection, violence programs, mandatory. Report in, no leaving district without okay. Truthful answers, approved homes, notified changes early. Officer visits anytime, anywhere, travel. Forget spontaneity. A lawsuit, he lost big $100 million. Payout buried deep. Court docs surfaced. Despite efforts to hide, his lawyer mocked details in one trial while negotiating settlements elsewhere. Hypocrisy screams, evidence manipulation claims, pleas, forced, victims tied to broader rings. He allegedly visited the plaintiff in jail, under aliases, pushing to drop it. Days before raids, wild, right? Escape route, pardon whispers. Just days post-sentence, a high-profile figure confirmed outreach from his camp. Ties stretch back, weddings, events, circles overlapping. One mogul backing another. After mountains of proof, he gets minimal time, potential freedom pass. Enduring influence. Yet, with relentless voices exposing layers, the fight persists. Will he serve it all, or slip away again? This tale of power's dark underbelly, survival against odds, demands more light. If it moves you, hit like, subscribe, and share. Spread the call for real change.